Hi, I'm Will with All Plastic, and today, there I am. Today we're going to be showing you in this series how to bond plastic. And I'm using the word bonding. People will say gluing plastic. It's all the same thing. Bonding, of course, is a correct terminology. What you're doing is actually chemically melting the two pieces of plastic together. Acrylic is one of the most common materials that we use. Comes in a rainbow of colors. And one of the other common materials that a lot of craft people use is ABS. It has a hair cell finish on one side, smooth on the other. It's extremely versatile if you're working on car parts, items around the home. Takes a lot of abuse and wear. And there's also styrene. This is also a good utility material to use for building things as a craftsperson. We're going to bond the acrylic together, and in doing so, what we're looking for is a good capillary action. The edges you want to be smooth without a lot of chipping, smooth saw cut. We have a routed edge here. Each different type of edge is going to give you a different glue joint. I'm going to use the routed edge, and we use a setup board. It's set at 90 degrees, and at different times we will put a rubber sponge material down here if we're doing larger boxes or we need some type of leveling assistance. This is the acrylic cement, and it is a chemical that does break down the plastics I showed you, melts them, and with the capillary action it gets in there and does the melting so that the joints with practice can be a very solid, clear joint. And there are different types of acrylic cements for speed. And at your local plastic shop, you'll find that they carry the different types of plastics, the different types of acrylic cements for the different speeds that you may need. There's also thickened cement. These come in containers like this. And what I recommend, if you're going to be using this, the thickened cement, is to get what they call a micro nozzle. What that does is it helps control the flow. You can cut the tip back so that you can get different flow capabilities. With the applicators, you can also buy different needles so that you can choose the type of needle size that you want for the flow that you desire. And these are color coded for the different gauges. So that's another option in choosing your method of gluing. So now we're going to glue the acrylic. It's set up, and what's most important when you're using a glue bottle is to have good control over the needle itself. And in that I mean, if you see me squeezing it here, I'm taking the air out so that when I turn it over, it's not going to drip. That way I have control over the glue so that it doesn't drip where I don't want it to. A simple drip on a nice box can ruin the piece. So again, I'm going to squeeze, create a suction, and we're going to start the capillary action. So I'm squeezing just what I need, and you can see it flowing in there. I'm going to just break this seal a little bit to get the flow a little bit better. And I do have some air in the back there. The glue has capillaried very well here, and I do have some empty spot where the glue did not go in the center. What I'm going to do is approach that from the back after this sets up. The glue will bite in just a few seconds. It's already taken a bite. I can turn this around, create my suction again, and then fill in that gap. So the capillary action has wicked in and completely saturated the glue joint. So as you can see already, the bond has taken place. It matures in about 24 hours. At that point, if you see here, we've created a little bit of a reveal. We do that on purpose. There's a little kick-in piece here. The reason for that is that when we're building a container, building a box, building a display, we want this reveal. Not only does it help to contain the glue so it doesn't run over into areas we don't want it to, but then we can route this off flush so that we get a very nice finish. This has to be taken into account when you measure your box. But this has been the example in this series of bonding plastic. Thanks.